Recently on Instagram, I asked people, what would you like me to bake? The topmost request for a Christmas bake. And I was so surprised because so many of you guys, majority, voted for this particular cake, which I am going to bake today. So what is it? It's not a Christmas cake, though it could be a Christmas cake, but it's a fruit cake. And in India, we call it plum cake. Now you think, why plum cake? I don't know the reason why it's called plum cake, but in India it's called plum cake, though it doesn't have any plums, but just fruits. So I'm not a big fan of Christmas heavy fruited cake. So this is my take on it. It's a cake where you'll have lots of fruits, but at the same time you'll have this delicious cake. And I have flavored it with saffron, cardamom, and added some nuts to it. You guys will love it.
Going to start with 100 grams of apricots, and I am just going to roughly chop them up. Now you can go really fine pieces, which is actually really nice in a cake, but I am short on time, so I'm just roughly chopping them by hand, and they all go in a pan. Next goes in 200 grams of cranberries with the apricots, and also 200 grams of sultanas. And next I have got 200 grams of glacé cherries. Now these are the kind of fruits I love the combination of, and I'm also going to chop up the glacé cherries into smaller pieces. Like I said, you can chop it up even finer if you prefer that. Next I will add 3 tablespoons of runny honey, which is going to add a lovely note to the fruits. And also with that I'm going to add 200 ml actually of fresh orange juice. Just give it a good mix, and then this goes on a medium heat until it kind of starts to bubble up, just like it is right now. It's just bubbling away just for 2 minutes. Let it bubble, and then you just press the fruits down and make sure that they are all covered in the juice. Just use the back of the spoon, make sure everything is covered and that they are moist, and they can slightly kind of get rehydrated with the orange juice. And now once it's bubbling, you just turn the heat off and let it sit for at least half an hour.
So I'm just using some of the dried fruits, and usually you would kind of cook this very slightly in brandy, which I usually do, but today I'm making an alcohol-free cake because I want to gift it to some people and I don't want alcohol in it. So if you want to make it with alcohol, just swap orange juice for brandy and you will be fine, but I'm going to make it kind of without that. And also it just needs to sit, the juice, once you brought it to a boil, it's come to a boil, then you just let it sit in those juices for half an hour.
Now I have got here some baking paper and a 10-inch round spring-form cake tin, and what I'm going to do is just try and get the right size of the tin. Just going to wrap it around the tin so I know roughly the size of it, and then cut the baking paper in half, and then fold it widthwise. Just fold it so you have 2 layers of baking paper that we can then fold, and then we've got these 2 layers with which we can wrap around the cake tin so that the cake doesn't burn. Now I take this folded baking paper and wrap it around the cake tin, and then take a string. I've got a cotton string here, and I'm going to try and wrap it around this cake tin. Oh my god, this is so annoying because it keeps slipping. Oh, oh, can you sense my frustration because this thread keeps slipping, but I think I have got it right now. I'm going to hold it close to me and then wrap it around this baking paper, and make sure that I tie it quite tightly and it stays there the whole time while the cake is baking. Now I'm going to grease and line the bottom of the cake tin. Going to start with the cake, and I have got here 300 grams of softened unsalted butter, and I'm just beating it for a couple of minutes to loosen it up. And then I am going to add 150 grams of golden caster sugar to this, and also 150 grams of light muscovado sugar or light brown sugar, just to give it the lovely flavor. After beating it for 2 minutes, it's nice and creamy. Just scrape the sides, and to this add 6 eggs. And once you've added that, then just beat it for a minute until it's combined well. In a glass, just take 70 ml of warm whole milk, and to this I'm going to add a good 2 pinches of really nice saffron, and then just stir it up and let it sit for 2 minutes so that it releases all its flavor and color into the milk. And in a bowl I have got 300 grams of self-raising flour. I'm adding 75 grams of ground almonds, and to this I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of lovely warming mixed spice, and also 2 teaspoons of ground cardamom to this mix, and just give it a stir together and combine it up. Now add this flour mix to the egg mixture, and then also go add the saffron milk to it, and just slowly pour it into the mix, and then just beat it for a minute until it's combined well and it's creamy and pale in texture and color. Now we add in all the fruits into the bowl. If you don't want the fruit to sink to the bottom, then you can add the fruit to the flour mix first and then add all of it into the mixture. Now I've got 150 grams of hazelnuts and 100 grams of pistachios going in, and all that's left to do is mix it up really well. Just fold it all in and combine the mixture, the nuts and the fruits into the batter. And then we just pour this mixture into the prepared cake tin, and just make sure you add all the mixture and then smooth the top of it so it bakes evenly and uniform color throughout the cake. The oven is preheating at 150C or 130 fan, and the cake goes in for 2 hours 40 minutes, and then I'm just going to check it after that time with a skewer to see that if the cake is baked before I get the cake out. Just double checking the cake is cooked. And then the key is to let it cool down completely if you have to leave it overnight.
So I have cut half the cake and I've packed it in the boxes because I'm going to give them as little Christmas gifts. Look at that. That's soft little nice bit of nice bit of cake, as well as there is this lovely bit of fruit packed with fruit and nuts. And as soon as you cut it, the first thing you can smell is the saffron. And I did use two pinches, but it just is just lovely, absolutely lovely. So I'm gonna, obviously you can decorate this with some frangipan and some fondant, but I am going to give them as little boxes of treats. So I don't want to put anything, because even when I eat fruit cake, I actually remove the frangipan, not frangipan, but I remove the fondant usually, because I'm not fond of that. So this is perfect. It doesn't need anything at all. You have to enjoy it just as it is, the fruit cake in all its glory. I do hope you give this a go, and it is all, you can make this anytime, any time of the year, and I hope you will enjoy it with my little twist. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you very soon with another new recipe. Hope you all have a lovely Christmas. Oh, you taste the hazelnuts. Oh, obviously lots of raisins and dried fruit. And that subtle saffron. Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
I ate it when I have to film after school.
Sorry, beta. Siyati to usse karwa leti hai, you know that.
Yeah, I know.
And I've packed them in boxes with some biscotti, brownies and chocolate chip chocolate cookies. And you can find the recipes for all these little treats on the YouTube channel. And I'll leave the links to it in the description box for you to check it out.